Ocean Village and the Rock, shrouded in cloud. We were up there last night. About to set off and paddle the 10 nautical miles over to Morocco. Plenty of big posh boats here. And Dave.
Okay, we're here in Gibraltar at the fabulous Ocean Village, which is an incredible marina. I would love to spend more time here. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm in a boat that I've not sat in before, and it's a bit tippy, and so I'm feeling a little bit insecure with that whole thing at the moment, but obviously that should improve as we go. So should be interesting, and hopefully 3 hours, something like that, we should be there. So looking forward to it, but could be interesting depending on how choppy it is out there.
This is heading out into the busy bay, ready to cross. Basically boats everywhere. Keep bumping.
Okay.
I honestly think you're going to be pissing in the wind. I don't think this is going to work for you. Let's dive in the water, not ideal. Bit of a tide race. It's better he goes now than we fuck it up further. Bit of a game, going to be getting the boat out, to be honest.
You can just about make out the Rock of Gibraltar there in the distance still, and you can just about make out some kayaks over there. And that's Africa. Dolphins! Yeah, well, right in front of Rich's bow. Right by your bow, Rich!
We've been told that there are 2 or 3 places where the currents did strange things and there'd be tide races, and that was pretty accurate. And it was pretty benign conditions, really. There was no real wind, hadn't been any kind of storms or anything. But even despite that, the waves did pick up a bit in these kind of 3 places. Little tide race, breaking waves on the top, and that added a bit of spice. And I guess the long and the short of it is that, you know, Dave hasn't had as much time in a boat as he perhaps needed or wanted during the last year.
It was an interesting experience.
I mean, he did pretty well to actually get into the middle of the tide race, given that he hadn't done much paddling, but I think it was only going to end up one way, and unfortunately it ended up with him swimming. You know, we're in pretty much the busiest shipping lane in the world, I think, as far as traffic movement. A lot of boats around.
It was a bit more lumpy than I think certainly I was expecting it to be based on the forecast, but it's tidal races and overfalls and things like that. You had to dig deep to plough on through.
I don't know whether it was a bad decision, really. I think I should probably know a bit better than to have put Dave in that position.
I felt like a beginner all over again. I felt like a complete beginner, and I'm sure I looked like one. I was fixed dead ahead. I was in a state of controlled terror. Bizarre, but interesting.
I think without a support boat, we'd have been turning back pretty much straight away and getting back. And it ended up being a bit longer, took a bit longer than we'd envisaged, mainly because it was a fairly confused and lumpy sea state with 3 tide races. Highlights for me, paddling 20 minutes with dolphins, and I saw my first flying fish, which was amazing.